guys, and welcome to this week's video. So this week I'm just trying to finish off a few odd jobs. The baby is due or nearly due, and I don't really want to start anything big. However, I do want to try and finish off a few bits and pieces, certainly before winter and before the baby gets here. And one of the things that I've been meaning to do for ages is repoint this wall. As you can see, I did one side, but I didn't do the other side. I ran out of time, and I really need to get it finished. And also, it's one of those frustrating jobs that it can't be too hot, it can't be too cold, it can't be wet. And also you need to find a day that I've got off so that I can actually spend the whole day on it and make sure I do a proper job. So yeah, it's one of those things that kept being pushed down a list, but I need to get it done certainly before this winter. So that's the plan. I'm going to remortar the wall, and the first thing I need to do is go and get the cement mixer from my neighbour, make up a mix, and then start getting on with this wall. I know I'm going to get comments saying, why don't I repoint the whole wall? Because obviously some of the plaster is coming off the main wall there. So you can see it's one big wall, and at the bottom some of it is coming off. Well, the answer to that is twofold. One, because there are bats that live in the mortar. There's some cracks and the bats are living in there, and I don't really want to disturb them. And two, probably more importantly, is I really just do not have the time to take all that off and repoint it. It is something I'm probably going to have to do, but I'm going to have to plan it in, and it will probably be in a couple of years' time. So don't make comments that I should do the whole wall, because I'm not going to do it. The plan is I'm going to dig a little channel here, and I'm going to have it at a slight angle so that any water that comes to the wall will be taken away to a drain that's down there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a slight angle on the ground, and then I'm going to fill it with gravel so that you won't notice. Doing is I'm putting a very light angle all the way down the side of the wall, and I know from previously that I put a drain, a French drain, about 1 meter away from the wall, and I did that originally because I was a bit worried about hitting the foundations, and it seemed to naturally pool about here. So I know I've put a French drain in on the grass here. So my plan is to dig around here, meet that French drain, so that any water that comes around here will go into that French drain. So I'm just going to cut a channel here to meet it. I'm going to keep the grass so I can put it over the top, but all the way along the wall will just be gravel. As you can see, I've got the weed liner there, which was protecting my French drain. So I know I've hit my French drain here. So now I'm just going to connect that round there so it can go into the French drain and drain away nicely. First thing I'm going to do is wet the wall, and that allows the lime to stick to the wall. While I'm just here getting everything ready, you may be able to hear the cranes in the background, and to me that's a sure sign of winter coming. So and they're absolutely gorgeous. seeing them flying over the house on a nice sunny day like this. But winter coming, got to get on with this quickly. Seems a little bit silly, but it's not my cement mixer, so I always make sure I try and clean it up with wet water straight after I've made the mix, so there's less likely for it to kind of stick and harden, and then it makes the job of cleaning the cement mixer a lot harder later on. I've got 2 mixes. I'm hoping that will be enough. I've got protective gloves on because lime's not very nice. And I got some knee pads, which I didn't wear last time, and my knees got burnt. So I've got my knee pads this time. I'm ready to go. Let's get on with it. So I'm really happy with that. I've got it all on the wall here, and now all I need to do is clear up, and then I think tomorrow I'll try and lay some weed liner and then put gravel in the ditch, and that'll be that wall done. So there we are. I've now repointed or replastered the bottom half of the wall, which hopefully will allow the wall to breathe. I've dug this trench, and obviously the next step is to get the weed liner in and then put gravel in. As I said, as you saw the other day, it's got a nice angle, so it should run all the water away. Back to work. Let's get this gravel in. It's supposed to rain later today, although to be fair, it's gorgeous blue skies at the moment, but it is supposed to rain, so I'm trying to get this done before it starts raining. That's the weed liner in, and the next thing is to go and get the gravel. But frustratingly, there's a massive big pile of wood that I've put in front of the gravel, which means in order for me to get the gravel, I'm gonna have to sort of bucket it over a big pile of wood, which is not ideal, but there we are. I'm just gonna have to do it, aren't I? But I'm gonna get the gravel in, and that will keep the weed liner in nice and tight, and hopefully provide a nice gully, I suppose, for the water to move away from the wall and keep this wall nice and dry. So when I dug out the trench, there's a few stones, and I'm just putting them back in basically to use them up, but also hold the weed liner in a little bit as well. And I'll then put the gravel on top of them, and as I said, hopefully these bigger stones will just hold it in place a little bit more as well. I swear this bucket is getting heavier each time, and the assault course is getting more difficult each time. Hopefully this will be the last load. ironically and frustratingly, as I get to the deeper end, I'm using more gravel. I was hoping that was going to be the last wheelbarrow, but I think there's at least another one. So there we are, guys, it's finished, and I'm really happy with that. It looks great. I've got all the gravel in, and so hopefully that will mean that no water sits next to the wall. I've got my French drain to take all the water away, so hopefully this wall will be nice and dry and good for another several hundred years. Maybe in the future I'm going to have to do something about this crappy and probably pull it off and redo it, but for the moment I'm happy as it is. We've taken the water away, and to be honest with you, it's been one of those jobs that, as you can tell with the videos, has taken me ages, probably about a year or two. I've done bit by bit by bit by bit, so I'm actually really thankful that it's now finished, because I kept seeing it thinking, oh god, I've got to finish that job, and I hate unfinished jobs. So I'm really happy that that's done. So that's it for this week's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to be notified of future videos. And just to give you a bit of a warning, our baby is due any minute. And obviously when the baby comes, I'm going to be concentrating on looking after the baby rather than doing videos. So there may be a few weeks where I'm not going to be doing as many videos. But as I said, we've got a big project during the Gîte, so certainly keep tuned in and keep an eye out for those videos when we start on that big project, which hopefully will be towards the end of the year / beginning of the new year. But that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers guys, bye.